course, welcome back into another episode of the galaxy famous I Am Geek Shop approved Jedi Talk podcast. I am your one of your co-hosts here on the High Council, Matamica. You are following us at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jedi Talk, and a man joining us who needs no introduction because he's sitting outside on his patio. He's the happiest he could ever be because Evan T. Boucher is 14 hours on a plane ride away from us right now. That's Brad Hughes. Brad, how the fuck are you tonight?
It is. It feels so much more light without Evan. Oh my God. We can
Uh,
talk about things and not go, well, I wouldn't do that.
uh, fact of the matter is, we love Evan. We're so
Of
excited.
course.
We posted his BDX droid video he was seeing at Tokyo Disneyland, and he did Disney Sea yesterday, today. He's like in the
So I
future,
think
man. It's like
well,
crazy.
yesterday. Yeah, he did it
Yeah.
yesterday, but somehow also today at the same
Also
time.
today.
To what level has he chained himself to the Nautilus yet?
I was
Do you have
just
to
getting
guess?
there. I was about to ask our special guest if he's looking to join yet a third podcast because Evan T. Boucher might be locking himself on the Nautilus. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to welcome Ryan Street here today on Jedi Talk Podcast, host of Living with the Landspeeder, which we've talked about and I freaking love, the I Am Geek show and proprietor of the I Am Geek shop. Ryan, how the hell are you, man?
Doing great. I'm happy to be here. And sure, I'll take on a third podcast. Just leave him in Tokyo. I'm
Yeah,
I'm here
there you
now.
go. Yeah,
Hi,
yeah. You
Evan.
see,
You've been replaced.
live on this show. We are mere hours. We're less than 3 hours away from Star Wars Live going on YouTube with Celebration, another celebration. It's insane, and we have to start off this podcast talking that, Ryan. Right. You're on. We're going to talk about your shop. We're going to do a little fun game with Living with the Land Speeder, and then we're just going to talk Star Wars because that's we are. Jedi Talk, a Star Wars podcast. Last I checked, Brad, we were a Star Wars podcast. So.
You wouldn't know it some weeks.
Some weeks, I mean, hey, we
Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it's slow news, and we got to just make fun of Evan and his love of all things not Disney.
that's right. That's right. But he's having a wonderful time, and we don't have FOMO at all about where
I'm
Evan's
so
at right now.
jealous.
I know. I wanted to lead you in there. So Ryan, we did our celebration expectations last week on our last show, trying to get ahead of the curve here. Do you have any like bold predictions for Star Wars Celebration? Because we're on the cusp of it. We're on the cusp of this celebration. So what's going to break the internet at
I don't
Celebration?
I don't know because you never know with especially Disney and Star Wars together. Um, Sometimes they'll announce crazy stuff that will never happen, and sometimes they won't announce anything, and then something pops up afterwards. So I've been to Celebration
Yeah.
before, and they've got my hopes up before and then it doesn't pan out. So it's like, I don't, part of me's like, I'm just not going to have any hopes this time. Just
That's
going to
fair.
let it be a surprise. I mean, I would love something, you know, announce, hey, we're bringing Skeleton Crew back for season two, or we're doing a season two of this or that, or something brand new. But I haven't heard anything really. And I try to keep my ear on the ground, but I haven't heard anything show or movie wise. I've heard a lot of like rumors and cancellations
Mhm.
and stuff, but nothing for sure. So this one's sort of a mystery, this celebration. Other celebrations, we've sort of known going in what they're going to talk about, but this one is a mystery. So
Yeah, it really is like well said. First off, like I remember that whatever year, I think it was D23 actually, but it was similar thing, right? It was an off year for Celebration, and they had that like giant sheet of all of the things that Lucasfilm is going to bring to
yeah,
you, and I think all of them but two got canceled.
yeah.
Oof. Oof.
I want to see if I can. You guys talk. I'm gonna see if I can find that and see what
Okay.
it was. Oh, there was so much that just
Yeah.
has not happened.
Yeah, see if you can find that. But Ryan, you nailed it because it's like, do you get your hopes up for Celebration just to be disappointed in it, right? It's like you have to temper your expectations.
Yeah.
You have to temper because in the reality of thing, this is every 2 years or every other year, right? They have Celebration, and it's supposed to just a bunch of people getting together celebrating Star Wars, right? And then we've come to expect these grand announcements, but Disney has to follow through on them.
Yeah.
I think in 23 they announced Daisy Ridley, right? Coming back, and that was big, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Ray's coming back, we're continuation, maybe a new Jedi Order kind of thing. Talking about the future, right? Because there's a big, people want the original trilogy, but there's an argument for new stuff, and Ray's going to be involved for, regardless if you like it or not. Um, and I feel like they almost have to this year pull something out of the rabbit hat and make it happen because this isn't theme parks, right? But, you know, Disney itself is up against the gun with Epic Universe.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Star Wars has just not been received well. We enjoyed Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. I did
Evan,
too.
Evan liked The Acolyte. Brad and I are,
Ugh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you
I found
know,
that list, by the way. Whenever you're
oh,
ready.
go for it, Brad. Go for it, Brad.
Okay, so I do gotta say it's not as bad as I remember it being. But
Okay.
then the shows announced were Ahsoka, Star Wars: A Droid Story,
Yeah,
Star
let
Wars:
that.
The Acolyte, Andor, Lando, Star Wars, Visions, Rangers of the New Republic, and The Bad Batch. So not quite as bad as I remember it being, but those are some big things that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like stop!
Kyle,
I've said it 1,000 times on the show. Stop announcing shit until it's like actively in production.
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Stop it! Stop it!
Oh,
Yeah. But Disney's bad about that.
Horrible.
Yeah. Very hard. Universal seems to be good about that because it's just like, oh, by the way, next year there'll be a new theme park or there'll be
Yep.
this. And
yeah.
Disney's just
Hmm.
like, here's everything, but we're not going to give you hardly any of it.
Yeah,
So,
and like the stuff that Universal does, like when you look compare it to concept art, like it's dead on accurate.
yeah.
Versus like they're like, now remember, this is just a concept. It's like, oh, so it's not going to look like this at all. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's Disney buying a shed off of HomeDepot.com and putting it as the new Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion Disneyland
Yeah,
store.
But we love Disney here. We love it
Yes.
so much.
it's
Just
frustrating, but we love it.
get your
Yeah.
act together.
No,
Yeah,
but
get your
it's
shit together.
so there were three of those shows that didn't pan out right. The Lando series, out of all that, kind of I'm upset about the most. I really would have loved
Yeah.
to have seen
Sure.
whatever that was. Um, the
A
Rangers of the New
droid story is
Republic.
interesting.
Yeah.
See, to me, Rangers is the one that is like, I
Yeah.
grew up as a kid loving like Star Fox.
Hmm.
So like you get a bunch of pilots in an X-wing or an R-wing or whatever. I'm gonna be there for it. I'm here for it. And that
Oh,
one bums
yeah.
me out because of the Gina Carano stuff and
Yeah, the moment Gina
all
Carano hit
that.
send tweet, it was
Yeah,
canceled.
that was done.
It was done. Um, so yes, we'll see what Celebration brings, right? I
Yeah.
said my official out of my backside prediction was like an expansion to Batu because that'd be cool. I mean, it's
Well,
only been a little
there
over
is a
5 years.
there is a panel for Imagineering.
You never know.
Holly was looking at it, and I told her to send as I say that she's calling me.
Oh, all right.
Um, uh, there was a panel announced about something about. I'll have to find it. Shit, again, I got to look at something. Damn
You're
it!
fine.
Hang
Look
on.
at it. Let's just simply transition. So I want to hear Ryan. So the first time I ever saw your crystals in person was when we met you on May 4th
Uh-huh.
at Launch Bay, right? And then I saw your
Yeah.
display at Helsicon. And can you just explain what you've got and what your shop's all about, what your creations all are for the folks on our audience that might not know? And it sounds like you've got yourself a special announcement you want to make for some of your crystals coming up for a special holiday.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to remember when I exactly started. I remember I went to Savi's right after they first opened. Got a lightsaber and then got it home. And then how long after that did the world shut down? I'm trying to remember.
Let's see. Galaxy's Edge opened in like August 2019 at
August,
Disney
yeah.
World, and
Yeah,
then May 2019 at
yeah,
Disneyland. So,
yeah. So right after that, the world shut down. I was very bored at home, and and I was like, I love Star Wars, and I love this Savi's lightsaber. Let's figure this out. And I'd heard some rumblings about people figuring out the codes and everything, how to make or how to reprogram your kyber crystals. And so I sort of have an artistic background. And this is when I first started. So I didn't have like 3D printers and design software and all this stuff. So I took one of the crystals to see the size. I got some clay out and sculpted a uh one that looks sort of like a piece of a tree. I wanted to do something with the nature um lightsaber.
Yeah.
So I made one in the great tree. I've always liked the great tree that stood at the Jedi Temple. So I'm like, I'm going to make a great tree crystal. So I
Okay.
sculpted that out of clay, and then I made a mold, poured in resin, figured all that out, and just making it for myself, just for
hmm
fun.
hmm
I put some pictures up on online, and people started asking, "Where can we get this? Where can we get this?"
hmm
And I was like, I don't know. And then I reached out some other and somebody else that was a maker reached out and said, "You need to sell these." And so I was like, okay. So I was like, I'll put it up. I'll probably sell a couple.
hmm
Sold out.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, it sold
Yeah.
out. And then I was like, and people started asking for more. So I was like, okay, we'll see what we can do. The next one I did, I won't go through all of them, but the next one was pretty cool. I was in my backyard. We had a fire pit. There was some lava rock, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool to make a Mustafar one? So I found a lava rock. I carved it down to the size of a crystal, made a mold out of it. So it was the first one was made out of real lava rock, made a mold out of it, and did the battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin in crystal form. And then that one, blew up. And so I've just made it, and from then I started designing online or on a program. I got 3D printers, started printing stuff. So now I can do more intricate things. And then my two latest ones, I did since everybody was, and me too, was going crazy over the cracked crystals you could get at Galaxy's Edge.
Oh yeah.
I thought, yeah, those are cool, but they can be cooler. So I designed a Kylo Ren Ben Solo crystal that basically looks like it got just destroyed in the middle. You can see straight through it.
Oh
It's
my
got
God! Don't tell Evan. You'll never have another one in stock ever again.
yeah, see I can show you guys, but the listeners can't hear. But yeah, that's the one.
So
Um,
did
yeah.
you create that one before Disney released their like official one in
No,
their
this
new
one came
versions?
right because when they came out with the new voices, I'm like, I can do Ben Solo, I can do because all they do the voices too. You could put them in
Yeah.
the holocrons, and they'll do the voices. You can use the Sith Wayfinder to do
That's
the
so
planets.
cool.
So I did that one, and then I was like, I've been trying to figure out a Mace Windu one because I love Mace,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what if I did a crystal based on the scene between him and Palpatine?
Oh, hell
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I did another blown out crystal, but the middle of it is full of real glass, and it's got glowing stuff throughout it. So when you put it in the dark, it glows like purple and blue, like his lightning. So it looks like there's lightning shooting through it. There's real glass, like the where the window breaks.
That's incredible.
So that's the newest one.
Wow.
And then it's funny, this is not Star Wars, but I ventured out and started doing wands for the
Oh,
Wizarding World. And the
Oh,
wands,
sweet.
yeah, the wands at the tip of it, if you could screw the tip off and it becomes a kyber crystal that you could put in your lightsaber.
That's so
holy
cool.
Yeah, so they
shit.
come all apart. There's one for each house, and it's got kyber crystals at the end of it. So you could use it. So if you go to Orlando, you could take your wand, and you can use it in both parks.
Did you start selling
That's
those yet?
awesome.
The
Yeah,
wands?
they're on the IamGEEK shop.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
I've
get
just
myself a Ravenclaw one if you've got them yet.
oh yeah, here's the I mean visually that's the Ravenclaw one.
That's so badass.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, but
Well,
they're all interchangeable, so you could take them apart, all that stuff.
speaking of traveling to Orlando, I found the panel.
Hey, all
Um,
right.
it is Sunday, April 20th, which is kind of weird because it's like usually a pretty dead day for celebration. It's like
420, nice.
yeah, make sure you get your last little bit of merch done. Make sure you stand that 14-hour line again, grab the t-shirt you wanted. This is it's at 11:30 a.m. to 12:30, so it's an hour-long panel. Join Walt Disney Imagineering for an intimate discussion on how Star Wars comes to life at Disney experiences around the world. Hear directly from the creative minds behind Star Wars projects and attractions. Moderated by Ashley Eckstein, and it will
Oh,
include Anisha Deshmane. I hope I said your name right. Asha Kalama, Kalama. He's like one of the lead Imagineers on Galaxy's Edge.
okay.
Ashley Eckstein and Matt Martin,
Hey,
listener of the show.
that's right. He did tell you that in 22, right? At
He
Celebration?
did, yeah.
Yeah.
He likes the show.
There you go. You heard it
Shout
here.
out to Matt
Cool.
Martin.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Thanks for
That
stealing my ideas, Matt. Appreciate it.
well, I mean, we're not on Disney's good side anyway, so
No, never have been.
no, no.
So do you think there'll be a ride at that panel from all the Star Cruiser people that are there right now?
A
Oof,
riot.
there might people might be chaining them, like refusing admittance into the door. Evan has anything to say about it.
Well,
You know what you did.
Oh, one last kyber crystal because it sort of ties in. The one that hasn't been that's being released for May 4th. You guys want? I haven't announced it
yes.
anywhere.
Oh,
Oh, let's
boom.
see.
Breaking news. This is Jedi
Um,
Talk exclusive. We just
if
keep
it,
doing it.
yeah, I'm still like it takes so long to design these things to get them right perfect. So it's still there's a version of it printing right now on one of my printers to test it before I go into production. Um, I decided to make with the new voices you can do Ray.
Ooh.
So I've decided to make two of them. One is going to be it's going to be called the Scavenger, and then the other one's going to be the Dark Scavenger. So it's going to be dual sided. So one side of the crystal is going to be yellow on one of them, and the other side blue, and then on the other one's going to be yellow and red.
Oh, badass.
So you'll have
That's so cool.
the voice of Ray, and the voice of Luke on one, and the voice of Ray, and the voice of Palpatine on the other. So
That's awesome.
depending on which ones I have, again, nobody can see it but you guys, but I have the prototype sitting here.
Yeah, we want to see the prototype. All right,
Yeah, screw
audience,
people listening.
go to his shop and he's
Yeah,
going to tell you where to go.
this one's
Not my
all
problem.
yellow. This one's all yellow, and it's not the dual sided yet. But I was just printing off to see if it's going to work. But it looks sort of like
Holy shit, that's cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's
Yeah.
hard to. And so basically, because she's a scavenger, okay, it's got like rock that's all in the middle of it,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
there's like little gears and stuff all in the rock, like she's been scavenging.
That's
So
so
that's,
cool.
but so one
Seriously.
side will be blue, one side yellow, or one side red, and one side. Yeah, that's it.
oh
That
my
looks
Yep.
God, that's
great.
cool.
That looks so
Hopefully,
cool.
hopefully May 4th, that will be up on the shop.
All right. There you go. Jedi Talk exclusive.
There you go.
We have so I mean, Brad, we're like 10 episodes in a row. We got exclusives. Dark Sasha,
Let's go.
this
Oh, the
Kyber
I
Dark
crystal.
listened
Saga
to
thing
that.
was
I'm
crazy.
like, Dark Saga, that's amazing. Why did that not happen? I was like, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
I'm glad to hear that Lucasfilm nixed it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Just
Mm.
interesting. So all
Well,
right.
I guess the further away we get from that episode, I go like, I don't know why they jinxed it. That kind of opens up a canonical can of worms. That
Yeah.
there's like,
That's
unless you
true.
make them
Yeah.
all at Exegol or something, which could be.
Yeah. It could be, or they could be around teaching the dark side as like a way to understand it. I,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Or
We
or
could beat
even a
that up.
character that is going back and forth, that's right on the edge,
Hmm.
about to try, and he could be talking to the guest, being like, I have this pull to the dark side, and I don't know what to
Hmm.
do. And it could have been interesting, but
Yeah.
oh well.
So what's your so Ryan, what's your Star Wars fandom? What's your Star Wars story, right? Everybody's got one, how they got into it, what your favorite movie is, what you connect
Yeah.
with the most. What kind of Star Wars fan are you?
I was born in 1978, so I'm old. So I basically grew up with Star Wars. That was
Mhm.
my childhood. That was the first Star Wars movie that I can remember being in the theater for is Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So I know that's not everybody's favorite movie, but it's always been my favorite movie because it was like I can remember going to the movies to see it, getting all the toys, which I still have all the toys. And that's my phone going off. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
Um,
fine.
uh, and so that's what I grew up. I still have the Ewok Village. I still have a lot. So that's, of course I'm going to be an original trilogy guy because that was what I grew up with.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just carried on. And now I have two kids, and my son loves Star Wars now. So getting to do like watch all the movies with him and everything it's just sort of carried over. So we have this cool room that we can play in. My daughter, she doesn't really like Star Wars, but she loves Harry Potter, which is one of the reasons I made the wands.
That's my daughter
So
too, dude.
yeah,
She is all in.
yeah. But I just love. I think one of my favorite characters is probably Kanan. I really Rebels is one of my favorite, definitely my favorite animated thing they did,
Oh yeah.
and just the
Rebels
story
is
that
incredible.
yeah, the story they did with Kanan as a Jedi was fantastic.
Hmm.
Um,
They did
but
so much cool stuff with the Force and Rebels. I
yeah,
just that's really an underrated series.
yeah, it is. It is. I could watch that over and over again. Uh, so yeah, just growing up and then growing up with Disney too, and then when the two met, and I realized that I could go to Star Wars on Batu. was just, opened up so many more doors with creating stuff and cosplaying and um because it seems like everywhere I've been, there hasn't been many more Star Wars fans around me.
Hmm.
So having a place where I can go and just geek out with people that like the same things, which was what drew me to the Star Cruiser when it was announced. I'm like, you mean I could go? So it was like going someplace with all the friends I wanted but didn't have around me,
Right.
all the adult friends, and just
Yeah.
playing Star Wars. But it
See,
was
that's what drew
great.
me. That's what drew me to Celebration.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Tom, you've never done a Celebration, correct?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. Hopefully Sunday they announce that it's coming back to Orlando. That'd
Oh
be
God,
amazing.
yeah, God, I hope so.
God, please. I don't really
Yeah.
care as long as it's in the U.S. at this point.
That's true.
Um,
Do it in Vegas,
oh, dude,
please.
that'd be fun. That
That'd
would
be
be
lit.
so fun.
It
Oh,
would
that'd be
never.
trouble.
That'd
That
be
would be
trouble, I know.
trouble for me, dude. We'd be having trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Um,
Depends. Vegas has
we
all of it.
You could buy some death sticks.
I
You
would,
could,
we'd see. We'd see what we get ourselves into that weekend. Holly loves to gamble, so it would be it'd be a good old time.
Well, anyway, yeah, hopefully Celebration's coming back. So yeah, that's what drew you to Celebration. And then no, I've never been there, Brett. So
It's so much fun, man. Like just the thing that I love about it is like everyone there loves Star Wars, and that's kind of a no duh thing, but you feel excitement
yeah.
even when there's like not an impending big announcement. My last celebration that I went to was the one in Anaheim during COVID, and like so it felt like a with everything going on in the world, it felt like a really fun white hot center of excitement. And there wasn't, nothing really groundbreaking came out of that one. I don't think. Maybe was that the that was no, that was the Obi-Wan Kenobi one.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of excitement around that.
we got a
And it just
Survivor trailer too.
that's right. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I just remember
that was big for me. So
I just remember like doing the art my panel it was so fun doing that at
oh,
Celebration. And like,
they announced Tales of the Jedi too at that one.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So it's just Celebration is just so magical. And the FOMO, dude, is just it's killing me. Like I'm so excited
I
to watch that
know.
panel tonight, but it's killing me.
The first celebration I went to, this will show you my age. The only reason I got to go is because I won a radio contest, a call-in
That's
radio
awesome.
thing, and I won
Wh-
tickets to it.
Which
Where was it?
celebration? Which
It was in
number? Yeah.
Orlando. It was like not the last one that was in Orlando, but like the one before it.
The
So I've
one
been to,
pre-Force Awakens?
I think so. I've been to two in Orlando. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know I have.
Were you at the one for The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay. That was an amazing celebration.
Yeah, it was really good. The only
That
thing I
was so
didn't,
fun.
I'm not, I'll be honest, I'm not a Last Jedi fan.
Boo this man.
I
Yeah, I
know.
Welcome
know.
you to boo him.
You're on a
I
pro Last
know.
Jedi podcast. Yeah.
But
That's
here's
fine.
the reason why here's Celebration is the reason why I'm probably not a Last Jedi fan.
Oh, interesting.
Because when I went, Ryan Johnson was there
Yep, I got my picture with him.
and he was like, "Hey man, I'm making this for Star Wars fans. It's going to be all about the original. We're going to bring back all this stuff. All the characters are going to be the same. Nothing's going to like he was just sort of talking to people. I was like, that sounds awesome. Like he's like, I'm in it. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm doing this for the fans. And then the movie comes out, and he did an interview. He's like, yeah, I decided to make it for me.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, all right. So Celebration, you're just basically
Yeah.
lying to
You
everybody.
just that's wild. I don't even remember
Yeah.
talking to him. It was like when I met him, it was when he came in at like 2 in the morning when everyone's waiting overnight in
Yeah.
line and was walking through the crowd. That's how my interaction with him.
Yeah. And he
Um,
like I made a comment on Twitter back then, it was Twitter, and he like commented back and said some stuff to me, and I was like, okay, okay. And then like when the movie hit, I was like, this is not anything he said. This is complete
well,
opposite.
yeah, if he's saying that, I mean, it's definitely not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi is definitely not that
Yeah.
Interesting.
type of movie.
So that
That's
put like a
interesting.
sour taste in my mouth for The Last Jedi.
That's with
That's
those
fair.
expectations going in, I could see why that would be the case.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
getting legit expectations from the guy making it. So
Yeah. Like if it
I get
was
it.
like
I get
I
it.
if it was if I go into it in mind it's not a Star Wars movie and that didn't happen, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. But when I go into it, this is a Star Wars movie and that's what I got from him, I'm like, yeah, I don't like it.
Sure, sure.
Everyone's exactly the same. You're gonna see. I mean, if you squint your eyes, you can kind of guess that like the character tropes are similar, but not the
Yeah.
characters
Yeah,
themselves.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair. I've never heard that take on
That's
that
real.
shout out, but that makes
Yeah, me either.
sense.
It's fair though.
That makes a lot of sense. So that's cool. So yeah, living life in Batu and kind of grow up with the original trilogy. So when did you start your podcasts? How long ago did
Oh,
those kick off?
I am geek. Oh gosh, it's either 7 or 8 years now.
So let's start there. I'm Geek. What's I'm Geek all about? Tell our
So
folks.
basically, how I am geek started when we moved to Texas. I lived in Florida for a while, originally from Tennessee, but we lived in Florida for 14 years. We moved to Texas for my wife's job, and when we moved here, we only had one child, and he was young, and I said, okay, we're moving for your job. I'll stay at home with him, get situated, everything, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, when we got here, we found out we were pregnant with our second one. So I became stay-at-home dad, and we decided to homeschool. So I became the teacher at home and stuff. And so it was just me and like a little child and a baby
Mhm.
at home all the time. Wife was traveling. She's a trauma therapist, does a lot of, she like right now she's in DC doing a lot of stuff I can't talk about, but so
Sure.
she travels, does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I was talking to my brother, and my brother's an animator. Back then he was in movies, animated movies. He did like X-Men First Class. He
Oh
did,
wow.
yeah, a bunch of stuff. And now he's in video games. So he's like one of the big guys on Doom Eternal.
Oh sweet.
Yeah, so all this stuff.
Hell
So
yeah.
we
Damn.
were we were talking, and we would call each other all the time and just talk about geeky stuff. And I said, we should just like record this, like we're
Yeah.
going to
That's
talk
how
about
every
all these
good podcast
movies.
starts. We're
Yeah.
doing this, we may as well record it.
Yeah. And so then my friend from college, like my best friend at college, because we were in a band together and traveled around and stuff. I was like, and he's like an IT guy. I was like, hey, you wanna join us? So that's where Catering came into it, and we just started doing it and started doing a Comic Palooza here, doing live shows at it every year, and having fun guests on. Since he was in the industry, we would have people on, animators and movie makers and actors and all kinds of stuff on the show. um, and then so we did that for a long time. We're still doing that, and we had a guest on one week that I became friends with. He lived in Nashville. He was like a producer in Nashville and doing some other stuff in Nashville. um, and we did a show about expanding Batu. And Katrin had this idea to do like a living with the land type ride attraction. And I said jokingly, you mean living with the Landspeeder?
Hmm.
And then the three of us were like, we should start a show called Living with the Landspeeder and just Star Warsify the current Disney attraction. So basically,
Yeah.
Star Warsify means taking a Disney attraction, turn it into a Star Wars attraction. So we've been doing that for a year or two now.
Okay.
And we've had James Arnold Taylor on,
Wow.
which was fun because he came on and we said, what attraction? Because we let the guests pick what attraction. He goes, Pirates of the Caribbean. And I thought he would
Ooh.
pick like Star Wars or something. I'm like, why did you pick Pirates of the Caribbean? He's like, I'm the voice of the skeleton, the skull on Pirates of the Caribbean.
What? Which one? The Disney World
The Disney
thingy?
one, Disney World.
What? That's James Arnold Taylor?
That's James Arnold Taylor, the one when you're about to go down the
And it
waterfall.
takes
And
your photo?
yeah, that's James Arnold
Shut
Taylor.
up. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Did
Did
Yeah.
we
you know
not
that,
know
Tom?
that? No, but
I
like
didn't know that.
I'm trying to think if Evan knew that and told us once and we forgot, but that's wild.
Yeah, because
I, I
he's Lieutenant Beck, so I thought he would pick
Yeah.
something
Knew
else.
that.
And
Yeah.
but yeah, so he's the skull on Pirates of the Caribbean. So we did a
that's
great show with him.
crazy. I did not know
Yeah,
that. Or if I
so we've
did
had
know
a
that, I
lot of guests
forgot it.
on there too, and we've had fun with that, and that's still going. Uh, but yeah, it's just fun. It's just a bunch of geeky guys talking about geeky stuff, and that's sort of it in a nutshell.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
Well, we know nothing about that, so.
Yeah, no, not at all. We're just, putting things on fire and just burning it all to the ground. Um, so here's a good segue from living with the land speeder, because you gave us this idea for this awesome like mini game. So
Yeah.
I want to just like get right into this
All right.
and do this. So you have a wheel, I
I have
assume.
two wheels.
Two
One of
wheels,
them
yeah.
has all the attractions, well, all the rides. It doesn't have like shows and stuff of Disney World on it.
Yeah.
The other one has all the Disney, I mean, all the Star Wars like movies, shows. So there's some weird ones on there. There's like the Ewok Adventures on there.
Oh
It's got
God.
everything on it. So I click one wheel, and whatever ride it is, you get that ride. And then I click the other wheel, and whatever movie show it is, you have to make that and you have to merge the two in Star Wars Ify the Ride.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So do you want to do
Get
it
the creative juices flowing. Need another
you want to do
drink.
it individually? Each
Yes.
person
Yeah.
gets one?
Individually. Yeah.
Individually. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. Here's the first one. Who wants to be first? And we'll do everybody's spins to give you guys a second to think of stuff.
Sure.
So you'll get your thing, and while the other people are spinning, and then we'll circle
I'll go
back
first.
around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go first.
All right. This will be your ride. It is spinning.
I swear to God, if it's fucking Tomorrowland Speedway.
It's gonna be Cosmic Rewind. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Evan's like, retheming.
You get Frozen After.
Okay, I can do it. I
That's
can deal
easy,
with this. I
actually.
can deal with this. You took fucking Maelstrom from me, Disney. You fucking cocks. Let's do this. you sons
Okay,
of
let's
bitches.
see what Star Wars thing you're gonna have to use.
If it lands on episode 4, I'm gonna be pissed.
Sounds like you've got something at the ready.
Oh, okay. Rogue One.
Rogue One, Frozen Ever After, Rogue One.
Oh man, that's tough. The one
It's-
thing with a tropical beach location.
Escape from Scarif. Can you make it out of Scarif before they blow it up?
Very good. All right, Brad, you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's see what you get. There's like noises on my end, but you can't hear it, so we'll just pretend there's noises.
Play a royalty-free Jeopardy-like music.
You get a ride that's about to go away. You're getting Dinosaur.
Oh,
Okay.
And you get I'm so
This guy.
sorry.
Oh
I'm
no.
so sorry. You get Ewoks Battle of Endor.
Ah.
I'm
I
so
don't know
sorry.
if I've seen that all the way through.
I think we did this one time on Living with the Landspeeder, and I'm pretty sure Katrin got that, and he's like, "What is that?" And so it was really funny because he was just like, "Well, I guess there's this going on, and there's Ewoks."
All right, so basically what you have to do, you go back in time. It's the same exact ride, same ride vehicle, same track, same everything. But you have to go back in time and capture George Lucas and prevent him from making this movie.
And I'm
That's
spinning.
the rides.
You gotta be kidding me. Okay, I'll take it. I get Living with the Land. That's really funny. I got Living with the Land, and
Of course you did.
what's it doing? It's being
Haunted Mansion would be fun because you could just redo it all as Force
Oh.
Ghosts.
wow, this is cool. Star Wars Visions.
All right.
Oh
I
wow!
Yeah, I can
Okay.
make that work.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if this is how Imagineers come up with their ideas?
Oh, this is straight from the Imaginary website. Yeah, it says this is how we make up everything.
I thought they did it like South
Family
Park.
Guy.
Yeah,
Oh
Family
yeah,
Guy
and,
with the manatees.
was it South? That's right. It was Family Guy making, or it was South Park making fun of Family
Making fun
Guy.
of Family Guy. Yeah.
That's right.
Um,
All right, are you ready?
I think so. So yeah. So I'm just. Am I doing like a scene by scene kind of thing on the ride, like cue and scene by
Whatever
scene?
you want to, however
All
you
right.
want to do it. Yeah.
All right. So this will be like a. Let's call it Rebellion Run. Rebellion Run. You're on so this is Frozen Ever After, right? So I don't know how it would fit into Norway, but we'll just figure that out. All right. Maybe it's like a cave of Batu or something. We could retheme it into Epcot there. Batu is sponsoring a land now in Epcot. So you're there on like the other side of Batu, right? And you're walking in, but you well no, you need to be on Scarif technically, but you're walking into a vast jungle, right? That we're used to seeing that we saw in in the final act of Rogue One on Scarif, but you're kind of going to the backwaters, and as you're moving through the queue, you get to a pre-show. Maybe it's a yeah, let's call it a pre-show where and this is I can't help but think this is a little close to Rey and Rise of Resistance. I'd have to think of doing it a different way, but basically Jyn Erso is going to need your help on Scarif, navigating like the backwaters of Scarif. So that's where you're going to end up on the boat, right? Jyn tells you, okay, I need to get these plans from here, but I've got Krennic and there's shore troopers and stormtroopers all about. I need you to take this and meet me over here. So basically, through the ride, you're going scene to scene. You run into some stormtroopers, maybe in the first turn where Olaf, and I'm just pulling this out of my ass right now, so sorry for rambling. The first turn where Olaf sat in Frozen Ever After, it could be like a stormtrooper stopping you, checking identification, um, and you get by somehow. It's like, these aren't the people we're looking for, right? Because Jin's giving you a cover, or like giving you like, and she's like talking to you right in the boat. She's like, okay, I got you past the stormtroopers, and you're coming up. And then maybe you're dodged through in the midst of like the battle. You see Sheridan Imwe and Baze, right? What's his name? Baze Mouse, whatever. I can never
Baze
remember
Malbus.
that. Baze Malbus. Maybe you get. I'd fucking love an animatronic of the two of them. That'd be so cool.
That would be dope.
They're kind of in the midst of a battle. There's explosions going around, and you gotta duck your head, get out of the way. And Jin's like, sorry to take you through here. Didn't expect them to be over here. Keep the plan safe, and then you eventually get to the point where maybe like some TIE fighters are pushing you. Oh no, we need the whole back way. Yes, and the where Elsa is, and then you turn around backwards. Maybe they could speed that up just a little bit. And then you've got TIE fighters kind of flying in on those screens back and forth. So, and backwards, Jin's just basically like, all right, I have to take you the unconventional way. And she sends you back out. And then as you go up and back down, Jin's like, all right, we had to take you away from these TIE fighters. And then maybe there's a walker right there waiting for you where the abominable snowman
Yeah.
sits. And then you drop. Jin's like, you're safe. The plans are here. Now you can get off and do what you got to do. There's my Rogue One Rebellion run.
That's not bad, dude. There's way worse ideas, and you're about to hear one.
Oh,
Um,
thank you for listening to my rambling.
It's
No,
good
I like
stuff.
it.
All right. So mine's going to be a little different. So what I did for mine is I hired an engineering and construction firm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dinosaur ride and I'm literally going to flip it upside down. So the track is on the ceiling, a la ET. Now, are there cheaper and less
All right.
expensive ways to do this? Yes, absolutely. But that's not what we do here at Disney. That's not what we do here. We draw this out and make it as hard as complicated as possible. So you are now suspended from the ceiling and you're no longer in the time rover. You are in a, what's the vehicle going to be? Let's just call it, since we're on indoor, they're just land speeders. Okay. So you're on a land speeder that's suspended from the ceiling, kind of like ET, but like think about it as a land speeder instead of like a pedal bike. And since the plot of my ride is to convince George Lucas to not make this ride at all, this movie at all, what you have to do is you have to race through the forest that they're filming in, and you have to race through it and find him and stop production by any means necessary. And what that means is you have to like make him fall over a log, and that's the animatronic, and that's the reveal. Instead of the dinosaur coming out, that is going to be like at the very end, that's going to be George Lucas falling over a tree stump. And then he's like, I broke my hip. I can't continue production. And the movie stops. And then you finish the ride. Like that's literally the ride. You just drive it right through the trees. You're like, oh, I see a camera. We must be close. I can hear cut in the distance. We must be getting close to the filming location of this movie. And so as you turn around, the photo op will be you passing a camera and not realizing that you're passing a camera. This is not a Canon ride, by the way.
No.
So as soon as George Lucas breaks his hip falling over the tree stump, you are flashed back into a new world where you go to Disney Plus and you go to search for this. Like you know how the ride ends in like the microwave toaster thing, and then you like have that little screen where it used to show Aladar behind you on the thing, and it doesn't work and it hasn't worked in like 25 years. Um, you end there, and the vehicle stops, and it pulls up Disney Plus, and it looks like you're typing in to search for it, and then you realize that since you did all the events in the ride, that movie doesn't exist because it
Okay.
can't be found on Disney Plus.
I've got one question because I think it needs to be answered. Will,
Okay.
will you encounter Wilfred Brimley at all? Because he's one of the major stars of the movie.
That now, yes, and he is one of the animatronics, when you fly by him, you hear diabetes in the distance.
Does he punch you? Because he's
Is he
confused.
eating
Diabetes.
oatmeal, or like does he have a big Quaker Oats full of oatmeal
He
sitting
just
there
yells
eating it?
diabetes, and that's nostalgic for me. I'm Walter Brimley, and I have diabetes.
That's the
Remember
little
those
fact
commercials?
about yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's the first Star Wars thing where somebody was wearing glasses. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley had his glasses on, and because George Lucas said that nobody was going to wear glasses in Star Wars, and then Wilford Brimley, being Wilford Brimley,
He's like, but I have
award-winning,
to see.
had to see. So then
My
glasses got
diabetes.
introduced to Star Wars.
He
Okay.
said, "I'm Walter Brimley, and I've got to see it.
I've
I've got
got
to, I've
diabetes.
got, I've got to see
I gotta
this.
die to
I
see.
got to see this.
Should
I'm
probably
Walter
go to your
Brimley.
doctor and
I'm
get
Walter
a
Brimley, and I got to see this.
should probably get an STD panel if you got cetus. That
Hiyo,
sounds like I mean you've seen Kyle's mom a little bit too much. Yes. Got her. Got her. Got
hiyo.
her. Um,
All
all right,
right,
there we go. What
we
do you got,
ready?
Ryan? Yeah.
All right, so I got Star Wars Visions, which encompasses many different short films. So I think I'm just going to focus on one, um, because I think this would be cool. I think I'm going to focus on the Rowan, the one based on the Rowan, the duel.
Okay.
It's like the first one.
Yes, yeah. I would have done the
And
Ninth Jedi, but that's a good one
yeah,
too.
oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be cool if your boat, because it's living to Landspeeder or living with the land, so of course it has a boat. Um, w- each boat would have the droid. Um,
Oh yeah, I remember
why did I just forget his name? I looked it up. The droid that's with him.
that. The droid.
B556. Okay. So
B5.
he'll be like driving the boat. He'll be on the front of the boat. So you're going through. So it sort of has that look to it. Sort of that Japanese style Rowan look to it. And you'll be encountering the different scenes. And it'll be narrated by uh the Rowan character,
Okay.
which I forget his name. Then you'll go through
Wasn't it
the
just the Ronin?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Um, you'll go through the bandit raid, so there'll be like a troop transport tank that will
Okay.
be firing upon you. You'll go through that raid. You'll go through defending the village. You'll see all that happening, which it could be cool underneath the big biodome to have like the village. So
Oh yeah.
you have the sky and everything. Um, and then basically you just sort of follow the show. You'll fight with the then it turns out Sith versus Sith, because that was the big thing about that one, right?
Yep.
He pulls out the lightsaber and it's red.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah. So then you end with a big bloodbath, I guess.
Mhm. I love it. I love it. Hey, I'm not a
The
visions
water
guy. I'm
underneath
not
you
an anime.
turns red.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, that'd be cool. Just to light it red. Oh, that'd be badass.
Oh yeah, like if you got in that dark tunnel and all of a sudden
Yeah,
red lightsaber comes on from both sides and then the
That
battle.
would be
Oh
pretty cool.
that
yeah,
would be
that'd be cool.
badass. I love it.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
good stuff.
So that's like the short version of it. Now on Living
Yeah.
with the Landspeeder, we take one attraction and we go into,
Okay.
deeper thing about it. We have done this one other time and it's fun just to throw it out there. But yeah, we usually pick a attraction and we go from the queue to the souvenir shop to the food stand or restaurant that's beside
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Have you
Okay.
guys done Haunted Mansion yet with the Force Ghosts?
We did Haunted Mansion for a Halloween episode. And I think I made it Dooku's Manor or something like that.
Okay, I have an idea for Haunted Mansion. If you guys ever revisit this idea,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah,
know. I would
you
love.
should go back. I'm trying to remember what I did. I remember it was something I'm pretty sure it sort of followed a bunch of the Sith.
I'm thinking you turn it into an old Jedi temple. These
Oh,
are all
that would be cool too.
like artifacts that you go through and you see all these holocrons
I
and
think
That would be
somebody did
cool.
that
Force
because
Ghosts.
yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's in there. We have it. But yeah, I'm sure we can always revisit that. Um, but yeah, so it's we have fun. It's just one of those shows you can have fun with, and it's a fun listen. We don't get really serious on there. Um, we don't get serious on I'm Geek either. I mean, what
No,
I'm talking about.
no.
It's just
You're and then now you're on the least serious podcast that ever podcasted. So
Well,
I
before we leave, we need to know who you voted for and what your take on abortion is.
okay. Well,
and canceled.
We're a very serious podcast. We take ourselves very seriously.
I don't take you seriously, Brad.
I can't take you seriously with that mushroom head you got going on right now.
Mushroom, yeah, thank you. You're just jealous of my hair.
You can tell Kyle was here. You look exasperated.
to not to change the subject, but I'm
Not
excited
changing,
about what
yeah.
you guys are doing on Batu, this basically the story in-person storyline.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, Halcyon Legacy continues. Yeah, it's not just us. There's a group of
I'll see
amazing
myself
people.
out.
Yeah. Part of the group we're doing that stuff. HalcyonLegacyContinues.com. Check that out. Yeah.
Cool.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
I mean, if you ever need any kyber crystals for any of the missions, just let me know. Maybe we can even come up with one special one for that.
Ooh, I have an idea. I will reach out to you after
Yeah,
the
reach out to me.
fact. I have an idea already.
Cool.
So where can everybody find you, and where do you want them to go check you out on social media? Where are they going to buy these kyber crystals? Because I'm gonna go buy a couple.
Kyber crystals, you can go to IamGEEK Shop, all one word, so it doesn't get confused with anybody else. So just no spaces. IamGEEK Shop on Etsy. If you type that in, it should pop up. IamGEEK Show on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. IamGEEK, just IamGEEK, and it's all one word. And we took it from like I Am Groot, if you haven't figured that out.
Yeah, whatever.
IamGEEK, wherever you listen to podcasts, we're everywhere. And then Living with the Landspeeder, everywhere you listen to podcasts, and YouTube. YouTube, we do video, so you can, if you want to see our lovely faces, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And then I'm also, I have to plug this. You guys can delete it if you want to.
No, plug it.
I've started here, like in the past few weeks, travel agent.
Right.
I have a friend that has a travel agency, and I'm just trying to start that because it's sort of something I can do from home with the kids.
Edit it out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, edit it out. So if you're listening and you're like, I want to go to Batu or I want to go to Epic Universe, and you need somebody to help you just plan your trip, it's free of charge. Ryan at uponastartravel.com.
Let's go.
Ryan at uponastartravel.com.
Yeah.
For all your travel needs. So, Ryan, let's do this as we close it out on today's awesome show. And I had so much fun. Thank you so much for joining. This is cool. It shouldn't be the last time you're on here, by the way.
No, absolutely not.
Because I want to do that game too when Evan comes back, if he ever unchains himself from the Nautilus.
I was about to say that.
And you guys need to come on Living with the Landspeeder or IamGEEK.
Done.
Both.
Done. Yeah. Tell us. We could talk more about just Star Wars. I'm a big DC nerd. And
cool.
So yeah. So give us, to end it out, give us your hottest Star Wars take that people would be like, oh, that's spicy.
The Galactic Star Cruiser storyline was better than the sequels.
Well,
I think
it was better fleshed out than the sequels.
Like, as far as planning goes. Like overall, from beginning to end.
I would agree, because there's so much shit in 9 that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah,
I would agree. At least the story makes sense from the beginning and end of the house.
That's true. That's true.
And he's back. How? I don't know. He figured out how. Don't worry about
it. Yeah.
We'll fill it in with a novel that half of you will buy.
Yeah.
What do you mean? How's he back?
I don't know. I don't have many hot takes.
You didn't play Fortnite the other day? What are you talking about?
I don't have many hot takes because I just, besides Last Jedi, I just love all things Star Wars.
Besides The Last Jedi.
Just love it all. I don't really, I mean, that's probably my hottest take. It
is the most accurate to the original trilogy, so. The Last Jedi.
Oh, right. It is. Yeah. All the people.
The way that they just kept Luke exactly the same.
Yeah, he's exactly. What do you mean? He's the same character from remember when he was a hero and then he was like a guy who disappeared? He's the same character. What are we talking about?
Yeah. I remember when he killed Rey and he was like, "Take that, Mary Sue." And it's like, I'll take on Kylo Ren. Killed him in 8 minutes, and then it was like directed by George Lucas. Greatest movie ever. And yeah, Ryan Johnson kicked to the curb. Well, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate you being on. Your hot takes and having fun with us. Follow Ryan and IamGEEK Show and Shop and Living with the Landspeeder. Brad, take us home.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys on the next show. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.
Rise, Jedi Knight.